Oh, hello everyone. Myself Chandramani Kumar, and today I am going to make a small app, chat a chat box, simple GUI using Python language. We are making using Python language because it is very easy to use the code. Uh, uh, we have to not write too many lines of code to execute such type of app. So let's take a look at how the GUI works. To present entire screen. Yeah, so that is my GUI. uh, Simple interface. Like in left interface we are writing Chandra. Yeah, and click send. There you can see here it shows welcome Chandra. If you ever want to quit, type quit. In the right interface we write Akash and send. In the left side you can see Akash had joined the chat. Then we write hi Chandra. Then you can see it also shows hi Chandra in the left interface. And if I write hi Akash in the left interface, it shows in the right that Chandra said hi Akash. So it is very simple to understand and to communicate with our friends. So it is very simple GUI that we are making using Python. So now we move on to the code. So basically, this GUI is based on server client model. So there is two file. There is one server file and the one file is for client. So take a look the server file. The first code is written is from socket import AF init socket sock stream. Socket is basically a module or library to communicate two or more than two nodes over a network. AF init is used to identify the family of addresses of IP. Sock stream is used for to specify the protocol, and threading is used. It is like the way of the way of executing more than two function or task simultaneously. Then we define host. Host is basically IP address and then the port. It could be of any number. Like we write 8080 uh, for local server so that we can communicate on the same machine. We can write the port for the different machine also. Then we store the host and port in the ADDR variable. Then we socket the init and stream in the server, bind the host and address with the server. Then we are defining two functions, accept incoming connection and the another one is handle client. So in the accept incoming connection, there is written server dot listen 5. It means 5 means the server is listening for maximum 5 number of nodes. Then it shows waiting for connection. and then we run a loop while, and we store the connection, the message and address in the CONN and the ADDR. And then we shows it shows automatically shows that this man has connected to this address. Con is basically the variable which store the data, and then send that, type your name and press enter to begin in the encoded form. The other function handle client, like it can receive the data with the size limit of 1024 byte, and it decode the message that it receives from the client. It shows the welcome. If you ever want to quit, then it send the welcome in encoded form, and then it shows that this has joined the chat, like we have already seen. And then we call the function broadcast. Broadcast, uh, like if if this is true, then it receive the message, and if it does not, then it shows quit. Then we call the function broadcast. Otherwise, otherwise the connection is become close, and we delete the client connection, and the loop become break at this point. The another is broadcast function. So it actually contains the send method and the calling accepting incoming connection. So that's all about the server part. Now take a look into the client body part. We have already seen the socket, about the socket and threading. Let's talk about TK enter. What is TK enter? So TK enter is basically gives a GUI for Python language. Then we define host and port, same as we are defining in the server part. Then we are storing it, and then we call a function receive. If the loop is true, then we receive the message in decoded form in a variable MSG and insert it, and otherwise it shows an error occurred, and client socket become close, and the loop will break. There is another function is send. It is for sending the message, and the receive function is for receiving the message. So yeah, it get the message and set the message blank by default, and send the message in encoded form. And if message is quit, then it close the client socket, and the chat become quit. On closing, mm, like we choose, and we write quit. It my message is set to quit, and the chat is become close. And the dot title is used to declare the title of the GUI that we are uh, showing. Chat GUI. We can You can take any name. And moving ahead, all the rest code is about the framing of interfaces that we are making. So dot frame is used to make the frame, and like dot list box. Dot pack is used to pack the frame, and dot bind is to bind. So this all about the framework, that how GUI looks like. Okay, let's talk about this method, dot main loop. Dot main loop is basically uh, we use to hold the GUI on the screen, or we can say that in another words, it is used to start GUI execution. So that's all about from my side. So thank you.